Good morning, everybody on YouTube. This is Rick Thomas from Obsolete Video Services. Hey, guys. All right, we're posting a video today in response to many emails about this. I did post a video about it not too long ago, but I could show you a little bit more in detail what I'm talking about. I had somebody talk about machines and keeping them cool, temperature cooling systems for these things. What type of fans are used? Just cooling the machines in general. I got like 10 different emails about it, and a lot of these guys are young people that never worked in television machine rooms or in production houses that deal with heavy hitter stuff like this. And without proper ventilation or super cooled environments, like super cooled machine rooms where the air conditioning is so cold to keep these machines cool, you'll have a lot of problems. In particular, I have a guy coming with 10 of the Type A's. This is a 1-inch type format, just like the IVC and the portable IVC. You know, these are 1-inch type tapes, such as these. And so I wanted to point out why it's important on this particular format, which wasn't really thought of very well when this machine was made. This machine is an early 64, maybe 1965 model. The problem is they have at the very bottom of the unit, they have a stupid little screen. Do you see the screen right here? And they have this little aluminum fan. Okay, talk about a joke. That's supposed to cool down this machine. It's got 3 motors and it gets very, very hot. I mean, really hot. And these idiots that designed this thing thought a little fan like that was going to keep this thing cool. Oh, my God. Talk about a joke. All right. Now I know why these machines would burn up, why people who would have these machines and they'd stop working, because they would overheat and they would short out what's called the motor. It's the MDA board. It runs the motors or the scanner on this thing, and it physically would burn it up, short it out, or just completely stop working. That's because this machine was very poorly designed. It's the Ampex Type A, 1-inch machine, and the design is so poor that you can see it's 60s thinking. You know, they didn't have any common sense. This type of electronics would get so hot, it's just ridiculous. A little fan like this is not going to cut it. And the fan that they had on it was this a little aluminum type of thing, which I could show you on one I got on my table, just to give you an idea. Okay. Now this is the same machine, and they have these little stinky doodad dumbass fans on the bottom of these things. There's 3 motors on these units. You got your scanner motor and this motor, and the problem is they get very, very hot. Okay, and this MDA board right here overheats. It gets super hot if it doesn't have proper ventilation. This is the board that usually goes bad. Sometimes one of these boards will short out, but the MDA board will short out because of the heat, and it blows these little ICs that's on this board, and big problem. Mainly because the cooling system on this machine was very, very poor. All right, I discovered this when the machine started shutting down on me. Once I got it up and running, and it would shut down and it would blow circuits on that MDA board. I was like, what the hell is going on? So then I came to the conclusion that the cooling of this machine was not adequate at all. And if you read the back of this, it's pretty hilarious. It says basically to prevent from electrical shock, and do not remove this cover. I mean, you might as well remove it. The machine, if you remove the cover, the machine would probably get more air, but most people didn't do that when they were using this machine. Anyways, this was a very poor designed machine. Cooling wise, it would always fail, short out, because of these machines didn't have proper cooling, besides all the other problems that this machine had with bad belts and everything else. So we came up with a solution for that. I have a rack here that has 2 cutouts at the very top that takes cooling fans. So I reversed the cooling fans. There's 2 of them underneath there that shoots the air straight up. And at the very bottom of this, you got that complete square that's open. So that blows super cool air into the unit when it's being used. And that brings the temperature of this machine down to minimal. All right, so this is going to prevent this machine from ever shorting out because it's going to be properly cooled. And the thing about the fans on these, they're heavy-duty aluminum fans, and I'll show you one right now. Now, this is one for an example. It's the same type of fan, and it's an aluminum housing. These run on 110. These are super fast and very powerful. I've got two of these side by side built into this rack that's got these cutouts that shoots the air straight up into the unit. No better cooling than that. I mean, this is a powerhouse cooling system designed for this machine when I'm actually using it. Now, speaking about cooling fans and different things, this particular IVC has two of these fans. Two of these are in this machine, in the back. Obviously because the machines get very hot. And of course, this is a bottom plate cooling fan for this IVC, which is the portable ones. So they kind of caught on later on that they had to have super high-powered cooling systems for these or they would overheat. They figured it out on the IVC. And of course, when they came out with the Type C, this machine has several fans behind it as well. So it seems that they got brains enough to figure out the cooling problem on these machines, and they came up with these super high-powered fans later on. But when they first came out with these 1-inch Ampex machines, because they made it portable and they thought they could just make some rinky-dink fans on it that would keep it cool and suck the air from underneath, that did not cut it. So these machines really had a problem. They would always be going in for service from shorting out, overheating, whatever. Well, obviously, you know I rebuilt my machines. They are brand new in every way. I do not want that problem. So we now have special cooling that's built into the bottom of this rack. It shoots the air straight up into the unit. And I mean, there's two fans next to each other like this, and it's super, super high powerful air being pushed through this machine. So here at Obsolete Video Services, we're always thinking outside of the box on how to eliminate problems. Well, since I'm not working out of a machine room and I am in Arizona, we are super cooling the heavy gear such as this, if it doesn't already have fans. And this just happens to be the machine that has to be done like that because there's just no cooling for this machine, and it gets very, very hot. So we want to make sure that never happens again. So again, guys, to answer your question about fans, these are aluminum, they're solid aluminum. They are 110 fans. I've got two next to each other on this special rack that had cutouts in it that you're able to mount the fans in the rack so it shoots the air up into the unit to keep it cool. That's how this machine is kept cool, and I won't have that overheating problem. And this is the Ampex Type A. All the Ampex earlier machines are like that. They have to have proper cooling. So I hope you enjoyed this video.